Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Christ is in our midst.
On October 14th, we commemorate the holy martyrs Nazarius, Gervasius, and Protasius, and Celsus. St. Cosmas the Hagiopolite praised Ignatius, Archbishop of Methymna, and our righteous Paraskeve of Serbia.
Regarding the holy martyrs Nazarius, Gervasius, Protasius, and Celsus, the holy martyrs all contested for piety's sake in Milan. After the passage of much time, their holy relics were discovered and given honorable burial by St. Ambrose. Your martyrs, O Lord, in the courageous contest for you, received as the prize the crowns of incorruption and life from you, our mortal God. For since they possessed your strength, they cast down the tyrants, wholly destroyed the demon's strengthless presumption. Christ God, by their prayers, save our souls, since you are merciful. In shedding the light of miracles like shining lamps, O martyrs of God, you make the whole creation bright, at all times dispelling the deepest night of sickness and maladies, and without ceasing pleading with Christ, the only God, that he grant his mercy to us. Regarding St. Cosmas the Hagiopolite, St. Cosmas was from the holy city of Jerusalem. He was a contemporary and peer of St. John of Damascus, with whom also he was reared when, because of his orphanhood, he was adopted by Sergius, St. John's father, and with whom he had the same instructor. About the year 743, he was elected bishop of Methymna, coastal city of Palestine, for a time under the jurisdiction of Gaza, with the name Port Gaza. During the reign of St. Constantine the Great, it became a separate township, and at that time was renamed Constantio after Constantine, the son of the emperor. Cosmas became an excellent hymnographer, from whence he is called the composer and melodist. Among his many compositions are the Canon of the Cross, from September 14th, and the Canon of the Nativity of Christ. Christ is born, give you glory. You are a guide of orthodoxy, teacher of piety and modesty, illuminator of the world, the God-inspired pride of monastics. O wise Cosmas, you have enlightened everyone by your teachings. You are the harp of the Spirit. Intercede to Christ our God for the salvation of our souls. Adorned with the virtues, O blessed Cosmas, and inspired of God, thou didst become a fair adornment of the Church of Christ. With sacred songs, O Father, didst thou adorn her. Intercede thou with the Lord, that he deliver us out of all the devices of the enemy. We cry to thee, rejoice, O thrice blessed Father. This great saint composed these Catavasias, these hymns of the Church, which are so well enjoyed, the Protasius of the Cross, and of course, the Catavasias of Christmas. Christ is born, let us glorify him. Those who have St. Cosmas as their patron, and for the chanters that revere him, Hagiopolite. Regarding the righteous Paraskeve of Serbia, St. Paraskeve was born in Thrace in the 11th century. In her youth, she went to Constantinople, thence journeyed to the Holy Land in pursuit of the ascetical life. After struggling for many years in the wilderness of the Jordan, she was moved by God to return to her homeland. She continued her monastic labors there for a few more years, then reposed in peace. Thou didst love a silent and solitary life, and didst fervently follow Christ thy bridegroom, and having taken his easy yoke in thy youth, and having courageously armed thyself with the sign of the cross against thy spiritual enemies, thou didst extinguish the coals of passions with thy tears, with ascetic labors, fasting, and prayer, O glorious Paraskeve. And now thou standest in the heavenly bridal chamber, with the wise virgins in the presence of Christ. Pray for us who venerate thine honorable memory. Let us all piously praise most honorable Paraskeve, the holy intercessor for those in affliction. She gave up her earthly life and received an incorruptible life forever, wherefore she hath won glory and the grace of wonder-working by the command of God. From St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Brethren, God has put all things under his Son's feet, and has made him the head over all things for the church, which is his body, the fullness of him who fills all in all. And you he made alive when you were dead through the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, that is, the devil. Among these we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, following the desires of body and mind. And so we were by nature children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. meaning that prior to Christ, we were under the elemental spirits. And this is important because especially in Ephesus, which was a hotbed for pagan worship, such that the Christians feared to go and preach there, it is very important to root out all of these pagan influences, the influence of the devil, which is masquerade, whether it is the cult of Artemis, which was very powerful in the city of Ephesus, or other fleshly desires that are trying to rule over us. Christ is our body. Christ is our head. Christ is the truth. And as such, we must abandon and walk away from all of the demonic influences of this world. From the Gospel according to St. Mark, at that time, it happened that as Jesus was praying alone, the disciples were with him, and he asked them, "Who do people say that I am?" And they answered, "John the Baptist, but others say Elijah, and others that one of the old prophets has risen." And he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" In other words, for the ignorant masses, it's one thing for them to speculate on who is Jesus Christ. But for the disciples, the church, and by extension us, the question is, who do we declare Christ is? Do we declare that he's just a simple teacher, as some would like to do, to say that he was just responsible for social reforms and changing mores? Or do we take the road of St. Peter? And Peter answered, "The Christ of God," meaning the anointed one, the promised one. But he charged and commanded them to tell this to no one, saying, "The Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised." This is very important because Jesus Christ has asked the disciples to acknowledge that he is God, he is the Christ. But Christ uses the term the Son of Man, once again to show his connection to us, that he is simultaneously 100% God and 100% man. This is why his death on the cross is able to save us. I hope that you've enjoyed today's spiritual calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.